Yeah, hi all. Good morning, good evening. Today I'm going to introduce second part of Informatica PowerCenter, which if you notice on previous part, I was explain about the PowerCenter architecture and basic thing, what were the services. Now I'm going to just explain about how will we start, how we can identify the complete services, right? If you notice, I was so here like ps hyphen this is the grape pm server. You can just identify how many services is running currently by using this command, right? And in detail I will explain in our next slide. But yeah, and the second thing I will explain about the repository services, how many repository services in our Informatica Power Centers, and what are the actual working of this. And third one is the same as the grep command, which is used for the agent, which agent is running currently. We can just grep means just identify the list of services, right? And what is the component of Informatica admin? What activity we can perform via admin page, and like user creation, user roles and everything, and repository import and etc, right? And next one is the Informatica domain configuration database, like how we can configure the domain, right? In one server, how many domain you can create, kind of things you can learn, right? And the next one is the repository, Power Center repository, and power center client. Like one is the server, another is the client. You have installed the server in different server, and you are installing the client in different machines. So that part I will explain in detail in our slides. Now, how many components in our Informatica power center, that part I will explain in detail. Like suppose I was explaining just before, like a server and a client architecture kind of thing, right? So similar way, how many in a client side, like suppose you have installed the client power center client, then you know how many component is there, so that developer can start working, right? So there are the four component, like designer, workflow manager, workflow monitor, and a repository manager. Repository manager, like is the whole soul entire thing, right? Whatever you do, entire thing in cover, like repository manager is contains like mapping workflow, your task and everything, right? So that one is the main. Designer is actually the developer, is where you actually write your logic, transformation and everything, build the logic, right? Workflow, right? Just how you execute that your process. Suppose whatever you did like develop, right, logic, then how you can execute what main task, and suppose wait event, how many multiple things, like when you want to execute that thing is behind under workflow, right? Workflow monitor contains like you can monitor, like how, suppose you executed their process via workflow manager, then you can how where you go and build it, what is the running, how many data pulled, and what is the status currently, right? So that things you can build it in the workflow monitor. And last one is actually a flow chart. I will explain so that you can just understand what is the actually flow of complete power center architecture, right? So that thing will come in next slide, so please go through in next slide. Yeah.
There is some given your concept, like how to start, how to check that service is running or not. There is some command ps hyphen e af, then grep pm server, right? There is the pm server actually denoted your server actually, Informatica servers. So these are the command you can execute in Unix server. Then if checking in Unix server. So each session hold two process ID. One is parent process ID and another one is child, which is current running process ID. Means process ID will be workflow ID under which many session as child process. If the workflow is already running in status, right, suppose you have executed that workflow already, right? There is a contradictory situation for operating system to kick off another instance of same process, right? Which has to write the content to same block on the swap space, kind of things. In current market, there in Informatica, I think a 10.5 version is running on. So, but the I just explaining, but the from Informatica 9.1 onward, you have two options at workflow property level. There is configure the concurrent workflow. Concurrent means you can put it at the parameterized. If you're using ERP, there is some parameterized. If you're running the report, there is the parameterized. Here is also some parameterized given. If you want to execute your workflow based on your parameterized means your region wise, you are given some department wise kind of, you can configure the parameter so that conflict can be resolved, avoid. With the option enable, multiple user can have their own workflow on the instance at the same time without any conflict, right? Next one comes in picture repository service, right? Okay, what is the repository service? You understand that integration service. You understand the actually what is the domain. Then comes in picture in your repository service. What is actually mean? The this one is actually manages the connection to the Power Center repository only. That one is service will be represented by PM represent process. This one is the actually you can use in Unix server. If you execute that command in Unix, then you can see the repository service actually running or not. After that, this one is concept for coming to what is actually Informatica administrator, Informatica domain configuration database, then Power Center repository. Actually, that one is store the information metadata required, extract, transfer, and load kind of. Then comes in picture your basic concept is Power Center client. Power Center client actually nothing. There is the four component there. I was explained just before. Designer, workflow manager, workflow monitor, and repository manager. Designer allow us to define the source, target, and create mapping with transformation instruction, right? And workflow manager actually allow you to create schedule and run the workflow. Monitor is allow us to just schedule the workflow running, and the repository managers allow you to administer Power Center repository, assign permission to user, group, manage folder, and view. And that one also allow us to create the DG group. Suppose you want to deploy our Informatica code to higher environment, then you create the DG under the Informatica repository manager. And then you upload the code in DG. Based on the DG group, admin team can deploy the code your higher environment. Correct? Any question in here, like till the Power Center, what is the Power Center, how many component, and what is the integration service and the domain?
No doubts. It's very new. Uh, the concept, maybe once we start using it, we'll understand
Yes.
better.
Actually, just try to explain just architecture so that you can visualize in view in mind, and then you can start that one. So that's
Right.
why I explained the first in data warehouse architecture, and now just explaining the what is tool we are using. Just these are the architecture actually. Before we
So,
start, we know that what is the component there and how to start that things.
right. So generally, like Informatica is like installed in Unix or in Windows, like in
No, mostly Unix. Actually, I just
Unix.
using the VMware. That's why I
Okay.
prepared the machine and VM.
And is
Mostly on
it
Unix.
possible
Yeah,
to, if we
yeah.
to install it on our local system for practice, or is it
Practice. I think you download in the trial version, or you
Mhm.
have the tools. Then you can install. You have a
Okay?
tool, Informatica tool, in your.
No.
So I think you download the trial version for I think 1 or 2 months there, and then installed in your machine.
Okay. But
I
we need
have
to
this
then
one,
install.
but I don't know how to transfer there.
Okay. But then we will have to install database and everything as well.
Yes, database is required. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
database, both database, either one data Oracle if you install, then you can use as a source and target both.
Okay. So one
Yeah,
database and
yeah,
one
yeah,
Informatica, that will
informative.
be enough. Okay.
Yes, that is the prerequisite for study, for
Okay.
practicing and other things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Database,
Okay.
if you install, if you not install database, then you can load the data only text and CSV. Like a source you can use like text and load the data in text. That one you can understand if you're not installing the Oracle. But if you install the Oracle, then understand what is the relational data, how to connect, how to write the query.
Mhm. Right, yeah.
That one is the basic actually. So if you, yeah, you can install the Oracle. Oracle any version just for testing, sorry, for your practicing perspective. So you can use any version if you have. And Informatica, you can search, there is a free trial version is given. So you can download that one.